We had this huge ransomware attack. I'm interested in investing in cybersecurity. What is the best way to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we have been investing in cybersecurity. So there's a couple of different things that I would say there. First of all, the cybersecurity industry is fairly fragmented. It's really powerful. They're making some unbelievable tools. There's hardware, there's software, there's a whole bunch of different ways that you look at trying to protect yourself from a hack or these ransomware situations. And because these things are happening and they keep happening, and we've had some really big ones, the one that's happening right now is $70 million, maybe 1,500 different companies involved. We're starting to see a lot of interest in cybersecurity stocks. So, number one is I would be looking at ETFs as a whole in that arena just because I want to buy all of the cybersecurity stocks. I don't want to try to figure out which ones are going to be the big winners here because it's a little fragmented. A lot of them are a little bit smaller as far as that goes. And so there are not a tremendous number of ETFs that specialize in cybersecurity. I think there's seven. Three of them are real new. One of the other four, one of them's kind of having some trouble. So there's basically three. We use two, and we've had one called iHack. That's the ticker symbol. That's the iShares Cybersecurity. This is part of their Megatrend portfolio, where they've identified some major trends that they see happening in the future, and cybersecurity is one of them. It's just continue. You can see why they picked this as a megatrend with these ransomware attacks that have happened, and so that we've had since last April, I'd say, in the portfolio in some different form or fashion. And then recently we purchased Bug, BUG, which is Global X's cybersecurity piece. It's a little narrower, a little bit more, focused on that cybersecurity. And that's done pretty well for us so far. I've actually been pretty happy with that. Even like in a down day yesterday, for example, it kind of held up a little bit better. Still came down, but there's a demand for these cybersecurity companies, and I believe that they'll continue to see their revenue growth because these guys are making a lot of money. They got $5 million out of that Colonial Pipeline piece. Some of that got recovered, but $11 million from the meatpacking plant. Now they're asking for 70 million. And these are just the ones we're hearing about. So there's probably lots of little ones too. They're not going away, and so companies are starting to look at this and say, "Hey, this is a mission critical piece. We've got to focus on, getting our things under protection." So I would look at Bug and iHack as two pieces to really consider for cybersecurity.
Yeah, another thing about cybersecurity is it's not just the public sector or the private sector, it's also the public sector.
Yeah.
Militaries need and like the government needs the
Yep.
same kind of cybersecurity. And so you have spending across the board,
Yeah,
national
that's a good point because
defenses.
government contracts can be quite profitable. They usually have really stringent requirements and what have you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess another way to look at that too is you've got governments and companies with a lot of money to spend in this area because they have a lot to risk, and so you got these small companies who could get big revenue. And the other thing about cybersecurity that's really fascinating to me, it's not just like your computer. It's everything. It's Internet of Things they call it, IoT, Internet of Things, and so everything's kind of connecting. So in 2018, somebody hacked into the thermometer of a fish tank in a casino, and then they managed to work their way through into the high roller database. And so who would have thought, right? So every single thing that you have that is connected to the internet might need some type of cybersecurity protection. That's a big market. Big companies with lots of money, the government, and all the little things. It's a huge market. Somebody's going to make a fortune off of this whole area. So, and that's why you'd want to maybe invest in that area, and that's why we have it in our portfolio.